I've been dealing with this like really bad side pain lately.
Because your kidney is pretty severely dilated right now. You have pretty severe hydronephrosis. None of that black should be there. It's significant. That's why I'm wondering, like, when you see him next.
Put the tube into the kidney, but through your skin. Okay.
I've never been in the hospital more in my life. I know in my heart of hearts that everything is going to be so worth it when I see that little baby in my arms. It's going to be so worth it. Hello, so I am 29 weeks pregnant today. Oh my goodness. It's getting real, y'all. He's going to be here so soon. Oh my god, it's crazy. I'm at this cute little shop in Laguna Beach. I'm going to try to find a swimsuit. As you guys can see, there's like a bunch of stuff that I'm donating, like baby clothes and stuff like that. I have beach chairs, but I think this is the bag. I'm gonna get some food and then I'm gonna go donate the rest of the stuff that I have to a women's center and Goodwill. I am headed into the Container Store because I need more baby hangers because I just got a bunch of clothes from Kite Baby. So I'm gonna go to the Container Store. It's my favorite place in the whole world. I've been dealing with this like really bad side pain lately. And it happens if I'm like on my feet too much during the day. It's just really, it hurts. It's really frustrating to deal with. This week has been the most absolute batshit crazy week of my life, of this entire pregnancy. I've had health scare after health scare after health scare. I thought that I would just share the experience in case anyone goes through a similar situation and feels like they can't relate to anybody in the future. What would you like better? You need attention or something? Yeah, it's been wild. To say the least. All of the shenanigans began on July 27th. I was experiencing some right flank pain the past 2 weeks, and I thought I just chalked it up to maybe baby kicking me or my back being uncomfortable or something like that. I actually had, so this will come into play later, but I had kidney stones last year, and that pain was excruciating. And I believe that I couldn't identify that it was my kidney just because my organs had shifted around. So I called my OB after hours on Tuesday evening because I got woken up out of a dead sleep because I had this extreme pain. And I was like, what the heck? And it woke me up. And so I was like, this isn't right. This isn't just baby kicking me. It's something else. I knew that it was something else. So I called my OBGYN's after hours cell phone, and basically he said, I think you should go to the ER. After I kind of explained my symptoms and everything, he said, I think you should go to the ER to get checked out, just to be safe, because it sounds like it's your kidney or your gallbladder. So I did just that. I went into the ER at Tuesday night. My husband drove me in at 12 in the morning, and I checked into the ER. They took me back. They were monitoring baby. Baby looked great, and I was just in a lot of pain. So they started to address my pain and everything. I waited to go get an ultrasound. Sorry if you see Butters moving around back here. So I was on a morphine drip. They had me on Dilaudid, and that was easing pretty much all of the pain. It took the edge off, but I was still feeling it. And they took me in for an ultrasound my gallbladder and my kidneys. By the time all that happened, change of shift in the morning happened at the hospital. So I was waiting around, just waiting to hear. I kind of thought that if it was my kidney again, what they did last time for me is they just basically sent me home with pain meds and had me pass the stones on my own. I had 3 stones, I believe. And I thought that's just kind of what they were going to do for this situation if it did happen to be my kidneys. So the doctor that was on staff came in, and to my surprise, he told me that he was admitting me to the hospital. And I was like, oh, okay. And he said that it was my kidney once again, but my kidney had like a big blockage, so they were gonna admit me. So they admitted me. I went upstairs to my room that I was sharing with another like nice lady. I was able to get some sleep with the pain medication that they gave me, and that was pretty much it the rest of the morning. Later in the morning, I had a urologist visit me, and he basically told me that I was gonna have to get surgery because he needed to break up the obstruction that was in my kidney, and that he would be putting in a stent in my kidney. So at this time I was 29 weeks. Yeah, I was 29 weeks as of Tuesday last week. So I went into surgery on Wednesday evening, and I was super nervous about what general anesthesia would mean for me as a pregnant woman. I'm in my 3rd trimester, so like I was hoping that it wasn't going to be too big of a deal, but I was still like obviously worried about it. I asked the anesthesiologist, and he said that don't worry, like the baby will be fine, we'll be monitoring him, etc., etc. So I went under Wednesday evening, and I got the stent put in, and they broke up the blockage or whatever, and the stent was supposed to do what it needed to do. So the stent was incredibly uncomfortable, by the way. Highly don't recommend. It was awful. Like it was the most uncomfortable thing of my life. Like it was like this constant need to pee, but also extremely painful because my son would keep like kicking the stent inside of me because I think he thought like, what the hell is this? Like why this is not meant to be here kind of thing. So he kept like punching it and kicking it, which made it even worse. On Thursday morning, I was let go from the hospital and sent home. The urologist told me that I would just come back in a week's time to his office, and that the following week that they would be taking out the stent. So, oh, baby's moving a lot right now. Hi, guy. Hi, little guy. After I was sent home on Thursday, I was in so much pain, incredibly uncomfortable. I had pain medication once again, and I was just taking that and kept trying to get some sleep because I was really struggling to get sleep with this stent in me. I was just trying to make the best of it. I took a shower when I got home because I felt so gross from the hospital, and I had to have my husband help me. He got me into bed, stayed in bed, and then the following morning, I woke up with like this intense like heart pain. Like it was bad. It was really, really bad heart pain. Like I felt like I was having a heart attack, and so obviously that fucking scared me, especially it being right after surgery and them telling you about like pulmonary embolisms and stuff. So like my mind's running wild, and I immediately had my friend Rowan came into town to take care of me because my husband works a lot and he can't always be home and stuff. So she came down to just kind of help me after I got home from the hospital. She drove me to the hospital on Friday morning. And when I got checked into the ER, they did an immediate EKG, and that came back like normal, but I was having some like bleeding when I wiped, so they took me up to L&D, and in labor and delivery, they strapped me up to the monitoring machine just to monitor baby and stuff, and to my surprise, and to their surprise, they're like, oh, you are in full-blown labor. Your contractions are 2 to 3 minutes apart, and you are 2 centimeters dilated. And I was astounded because I had no idea that I was in labor at all. Not a fucking clue. I didn't feel anything. And so I was just like, what the fuck? Like, what does that mean? Like, what, like so worried about like me and baby and everything. They're like, don't worry, we're gonna try to give you a shot of terbutaline. Terbutaline basically is this drug that like will stop labor. And so that's what they did. I forget where I was. I had to go pee, but when they did that shot of terbutaline, first shot did not work. And by the way, terbutaline, the shot that they give you to try to stop labor, if you have anxiety, it heightens your anxiety a lot because it increases your heart rate and baby's heart rate, and you feel like you're gonna die. And I also have ADHD, so just, it was an awful, awful feeling. And that first shot didn't work, so they had to use a second shot of terbutaline. That shot of terbutaline did work, did its job, slowed down the contractions enough that I was only having like 4 an hour. And then they monitored me for a few more hours I had like another like heart specialist come in just to make sure that nothing was going on with my heart. I still don't know why I had that feeling. I had another one of those like attacks or whatever while I was in the hospital. And I've had panic attacks, like I suffer from panic attacks, and it wasn't like that. So it was like really worrying to me because I was like, is this like an after effect of like general anesthesia? Like what's going on, you know? And it was just like really worrying like all around. They kept me in the ER for observation for another like 9 hours after that entire debacle. Cause I went in, I think at like 10 in the morning, and I was there till like 9 p.m. And my husband was there and he picked me up, and I didn't have him drop everything at work and like come to be with me unless like it was like no shit labor, you know, cause I kind of want to like save that for everything. I don't want him to have to like be running around like a chicken with his head cut off unless like I'm like really, really in bad shape. So once they were able to like slow down contractions and everything, and then everything with baby looked good and I stopped dilating and everything, they sent me home. And a lot of people were asking me on my other social media, they're like, why did they send you home like same day? Like, why didn't they keep you overnight? And honestly, I think it's because there's been an uptick in vid cases, if you catch my drift, and they are not keeping people in the hospital unless they like absolutely necessary. So I think that's why I got sent home like so soon. I don't know, but other than that, like I was pretty much fine. And then over the weekend, I was miserable with the stint and everything else. Was literally, I just slept like for like 4 days and just tried to take my pain medication and sleep and monitor baby, because after that point, like I have so much anxiety about, is baby moving, like make sure I'm doing like kick counts and stuff like that. And when they let me go from the hospital, they were just like, make sure you're doing your kick counts, keep your eye out for, you know, any preterm labor signs again, and all of that jazz. So at home, I again like have anxiety, and this is my 4th pregnancy after my 3rd miscarriage. So I just have so much anxiety around like this like beautiful baby of mine and wanting him to keep him as safe as possible for as long as possible. And so yeah, it's been a roller coaster. I got my stent removed on Tuesday afternoon. I went in to see my doctor and they removed the stent. The stent removal was incredibly uncomfortable. They shove a camera like up your ureter that's like this big. Oh, girl, it's not fun at all. No. Then they like grab my son, he's headbutting my cervix. Come on, dude. Oh, jeez, it hurt. Okay, anyway, so they took my stent out, they grabbed it, took it out, he showed it to me after the procedure. I was like, holy fuck, that was in me. And that was pretty much it, and it was incredibly painful and uncomfortable, and they didn't give you any, you know, numbing or pain medication or anything. Like, it was like, it was just not fun. Nothing belongs in that hole at all, no. After that, I was like feeling, you know, pretty uncomfortable for the first like 2 hours, like some slight cramping and stuff, and then all of a sudden my flank pain in my kidney came back with a vengeance. That original pain that I went to the ER for in the first place. And I called my doctor. I was like, hey, like, is this normal? Like, he's like, no, not really, but like we might have to have you come back in for this other surgery because it sounds like you have this one condition. Sorry, let me pull it up on my phone. I keep saying it wrong. He says that it's likely that I have this condition called hydronephrosis, and it's a condition characterized by excess fluid in the kidney due to backup of urine. It's caused by a blockage, etc., etc. Essentially, it's like a really, really bad thing to have because it can cause your kidney to go into full kidney failure. So it's like a really serious thing to like watch out for. And he said, I'm gonna have you come back in a week for an ultrasound to make sure that that's not happening, and let me know if you're still experiencing flank pain and stuff. So this Thursday, today's August 5th, I went into an OB appointment, just a follow-up from last week's craziness and them just trying to make sure that, you know, baby's fine and okay. It was just a general checkup. And while I was in the ultrasound, I'll insert like clips and stuff throughout this video, but the ultrasound tech showed me like baby is so far down in my cervix right now, like he cannot go further. He is ready, he's knocking at my cervix ready to be born, like literally. And my cervix is shortening, and it's to a point that they're really worried about me going to preterm labor again. So that was one thing that I found out that I was like, you know, really upset about. Obviously, I want baby to stay in there and cook as long as possible. And I know preterm babies often have a lot of issues, and I just really don't want him to have to, you know, have any kind of NICU stay. If he does have to, like, obviously, of course, like, anything to make, you know, baby healthy, anything, you know, to bring a healthy baby boy into the world. Like, I'll do anything. So that was what she told me. And then I kind of was like talking to her about how my kidney, the reason like I was in the hospital and all this stuff. And so she brought the ultrasound over to my kidney, and she was like, this does not look good. Like, she's like, you look like you have severe hydronephrosis.
Because your kidney is pretty severely dilated right now. You have pretty severe hydronephrosis.
Oh, beautiful.
So all that, none of that black should be there.
That's not good. Okay.
Yeah, it's significant. That's why I'm wondering, like, when you see him next, you know? I need to make sure your cervical length is still good, because he's definitely, I can't get a picture. The face is just down too low.
Yeah, he's just really fucking down there.
He's just
He
hanging
was
out
like
down
headbutting
low.
my cervix. And I'm sorry if I'm butchering that name, but like my kidney, it looked awful compared to a normal fucking kidney. And it was so bad that to the point where she put it in her notes to tell the doctor like how bad it looked. And then I went in to see the doctor, and the doctor did like a he tested me for like the preterm labor. He tested me for the preterm labor swipe or whatever. It was literally like a pap smear. He just stuck the thing in me. He swiped my fucking cervix, I think, and then I get the test results for that tomorrow. So hopefully those come back negative and not positive. I'm sorry if I'm breathless. You know, pregnancy, it's just, it does it to you. So as I was talking to the doctor, he got filled in on everything, and he's like, oh yeah, no, I know, because my urologist and my gynecologist were talking while I was in the hospital for preterm labor on Friday. So he like remembered everything and everything that was going on with me. And he's like, oh my gosh, like you've been through it. I was like, yeah, it's been kind of a rough like week and a half. He's like, you're like, no kidding. And he told me essentially that they are now treating me as a high risk pregnancy, and I am officially on bed rest, which is fucking beautiful. And I'm really bummed about that, because I was really enjoying having a active pregnancy, but like everything comes second to delivering a healthy baby. So I will do whatever the fuck the doctors tell me to do in order to make this baby come out as healthy as possible. I'm sad about it, but like it is what it is, you know? At that point, he told me that I needed to call my urologist and let him know immediately what they saw on the ultrasound, even though I was scheduled for another ultrasound with my urologist in a few days anyway. He's like, no, like it looks really bad, like you need to call him. So I did. I called him. I was told that I got in touch with a triage nurse, and she said that he would call me back, and so that's exactly what happened. He gave me a call, I think at like maybe 7 p.m. or something like that, or maybe 8 p.m.
Put the tube into the kidney, but through your skin, okay? That way it can take the pressure off the kidney, and the tube can be changed easily on a regular basis without the risk of it getting all encrusted. Yeah. Which is what would happen with an internal tube, and without the need for anesthesia when it's changed. Mm-hmm. So it's easier on your pregnancy, even though it's going to be inconvenient to have the tube there. And even though there is some risk of infection, I think it'll be an easier way to manage this. And then after you deliver, mm-hmm. we can use that same tube to put some dye in the kidney, get some x-rays, and see if this is something that needs to have surgical correction. Yeah. If it needs surgery, it's possible that it can be done with minimally invasive techniques. And my partner, Dr. Kim, is an expert in that field. On the other hand, if it just calms down and gets better without the need for surgery, and it was just sort of a temporary problem while you're pregnant, okay, that would be great. But I think we have to think that this may well be the situation I described called the UPJ obstruction, where your anatomy is such that at some point your kidney starts to just behave in a blocked way, even though there's no stone or scar tissue there. Some people get that problem.
Do you think
So what I'd like to do...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think that it's possible that like my pregnancy exacerbated the existing issue or caused it, or
yes.
Okay.
I think it's possible you could have had an existing issue that wasn't causing you any symptoms, but it's just the way you're built.
Yeah.
And then the pregnancy exacerbated it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And get you added on urgently for the procedure to be done tomorrow.
Like, I'm not joking or over dramatizing any of this shit. Like, this is no shit like happening to me, and I'm just trying to stay positive and in good spirits, but like at the same time, like I am struggling because I feel like my body is failing to be a safe haven for my baby. Like I'm feeling like a failure, and I know that it's like rationally I know that it's not my fault, but at the same time I feel like it is, even though it's not. Like, there's nothing I could do to stop this from happening. So when my doctor called, he told me that I'm going to be immediately scheduled for emergency surgery tomorrow. So I'm getting another surgery within 2 weeks, and they're gonna put a tube into my kidney on my right side, and it's gonna come out of me, and it's gonna go into a bag. So essentially I'm gonna be dragging around a pee bag for the rest of this pregnancy. But like I said, like I'll do whatever the fuck I need to do to make sure that this baby comes in healthy. So, and I don't lose a kidney, and that's all that matters. So after I give birth, we're hoping that some of these symptoms like go away, because a lot of it has been exacerbated by baby being up in my organs and everything. It was a pre-existing condition that they misdiagnosed originally when I just had kidney stones. And so yeah, it's been a lot. It's been crazy, and I'm really not looking forward to another surgery tomorrow, and I'm really not looking forward to having a pee bag strapped to me. But I mean, I guess on the bright side, I don't have to get up out of bed as often, I think. I hope. And the doctor said that I will likely have to have another surgery after the baby's born, because this temporary pee bag is only going to alleviate the symptoms of my condition and not get rid of it. I'm going to have a more serious like reconstructive surgery or whatever he said after birth, which is not going to be, I can imagine, not fun. And I hate that I have to rely on pain meds right now, especially being pregnant. Like, obviously the doctor wouldn't prescribe it to me if it was like unsafe for baby, but at the same time, like I don't want to like become reliant on them. And I know I won't, because I'm not the kind of person that has like an addictive like personality or anything, but like it's still something that it doesn't make me feel good. Like they make me, like hydrocodone doesn't make me feel good. It takes the pain away, but it makes me feel gross. But yeah, that's everything that's happened up until this point. I had a pretty uneventful pregnancy up until this point so far. I got diagnosed with gestational diabetes 3 weeks ago. So it was like one thing after another, after another. The gestational diabetes, though, I only failed by a point. As far as that goes, I am measuring within normal levels whenever I draw my blood. And that's been really frustrating to do. But when I was in the hospital, I didn't have any glucose, like anything. So everything looks good in that aspect. Baby is measuring 2 weeks and 6 days ahead. So I'm 30 weeks and 2 days today on August 5th, but he's measuring at 32 weeks and 6 days. It's been fun. I'll keep you guys updated with surgery tomorrow and see how that goes. And I'll be checking in with my pee bag at some point. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram or TikTok, I update there way more often than I do here. I know some of you don't follow me on any of the other platforms and you just see me on here, so that's kind of why I wanted to update you guys. And I just have a feeling that baby's gonna make a appearance sooner than we'd like. So right when I came back from the hospital on Thursday, I had my husband help me pack some hospital go bags. I wasn't really planning on doing that until I was like 32 weeks or something like that. But with everything going on with me health-wise, the preterm labor scare and everything else, I just want to make sure that I have hospital bags ready to go by the door, like ASAP, like grab them and go. And also because my husband, like I love him to death, but he's clueless. And I'm just telling you right now, he would forget. He wouldn't remember to get something, like a certain something, and it would just make me mad. So I just want to make sure that we have everything ready to go. I will check in with you guys soon. I'm not going to finish this vlog until after surgery, I think. So go eat some Chick-fil-A or something. I'm sad. I kind of have a gut feeling that baby's going to come sooner than we think because of everything going on with me health-wise. And so right now I'm just gonna head to Best Buy. I gotta pick up an extra camera battery, a tripod, and a charger. I have everything else hospital go bag wise. I put together a hospital bag after my last debacle last week in the hospital. I had my husband help me put something together, and it just makes me feel better knowing that I just have stuff that Hank can grab and go, because I love my husband to death, but he's not gonna know what I need. If I'm like, hey, like I need this from here, he'll get the wrong thing and I'll just get pissed at him. So I just need to make sure that I have everything put together. It's probably like a lot of my anxiety speaking, but yeah. So that's what I'm doing right now. And I wish I had like a caretaker that could do this for me right now, but like I don't have friends that can just drop everything and come stay with me. Like they all have jobs and they're adults, you know, and my husband, he's working, and my mom is in a different state. My entire family is in a different state. So I don't, like, my support system here is good, but like not to the point where they could just drop everything and come like cater to me and run all of my errands. And it's been a lot. It's been a long day. Got everything ready to go.
I only have one lymph node.
Hey, babe.
I only have one fucking lymph node. I'm a singular lymph noder. So I can't give you another lymph node because I only got one. I can give you a fucking kidney or a half of a kidney, or I'll just take Peanut's kidney. We can give you little
I can't get a dog.
We can give you little butter kidneys.
Oh my goodness.
I'm telling you, a little butter kidney.
So I'm at the hospital. I'm up in L&D. They're gonna check baby and make sure everything's okay, because I've been experiencing contractions and stuff the past couple days, some like back labor pains, so a lot of pelvic pressure because baby is so low down in my cervix, and my cervix is shortening, so they're just gonna make sure that everything's okay before I go in for my kidney surgery to get that tube put in. I forget the name of it, but yeah, so that's kind of like what's going on right now. I've never been in the hospital more in my life, and it's incredibly stressful because I just want to make sure everything's okay with baby, you know. This is the hospital that I am giving birth at, and it's nice. Hank's gonna have a lovely little couch there. Let's see what today's date is. It's August 6th. It's been quite a hectic 2 weeks, to say the least. I just hope that I'm not in like preterm labor again and that baby's okay, and that I can get the surgery tonight and move forward from there, and hopefully like be pain-free for my kidney. But I also want to make sure baby's safe. Ever since I went into preterm labor last Friday, I wanted to make sure that I had like go bags ready to go by the door, just in case, you know, baby does come like super early, which they said is likely. So yeah, because when I came in on Friday, they gave me 2 shots of terbutaline. The first one didn't work. The second one slowed the contractions down, didn't stop them completely, and then that medication is sent from hell, I swear. Oh my god. Oh. Ooh. It, like, I have anxiety, and so like it makes your heart race and baby's heart rate race, and like literally it feels like your anxiety is heightened, and it's awful. But like I said, I'll do anything to make sure that baby stays in there as long as possible and is as healthy as possible, so whatever that means, you know. It's really comforting to hear his little heartbeat. So I'm in the hospital. and they are monitoring me and baby overnight. I have surgery tomorrow to get a nephrostomy bag put in because of my kidney hydronephrosis. It's important that I get everything taken care of correctly, otherwise I could lose a kidney. So I'm glad that they picked it up when they did. I know that it's going to be a miserable experience living with a bag of pee attached to my leg for the rest of my pregnancy. So that's just going to be shitty, to say the least. I'm waiting on Hank right now to come and bring me in and out. They just gave me pain medication, antibiotics, and a bunch of other stuff for like pre-surgery things. Getting some fluids right now.
Want some enemy little bags?
Honey, I don't.
Just take what you want. Whatever you don't want, I'll take it back.
I'm about to eat. Hank brought in and out.
Hello, little weenie.
They were monitoring baby earlier.
Yeah, how's he doing?
He's good. He's good.
Everything looks like 100%.
Hank found the damn gloves. Baby, your OCD is showing.
No, I like these gloves. They have a nice, real tight fit feeling.
Look at this. Try to take some gloves to go.
Yeah, I might fit a few pairs. Absolutely. I mean, you don't even think.
So I just got out of surgery around an hour ago. They switched me rooms. The nephrostomy bag that they put in is extremely painful. They have me on heavy duty pain meds right now. I'm just frustrated because my left kidney is functioning, but my right kidney is a bum kidney right now. I have to have a bag of pee essentially strapped to my leg for the foreseeable future until I give birth to my son, and it's just a lot. I know in my heart of hearts that everything is going to be so worth it when I see that little baby in my arms. It's going to be so worth it. I love you guys. If you follow me on my other social media, you already know about all of this, but I wanted to just document my story because I know that there's going to be somebody out there one day that maybe is going through the same thing that I am, and I couldn't find a single video about somebody going through this on YouTube or anything, and it kind of sucked because I wanted to know what to expect. So hopefully maybe this video can find somebody that's in my situation and give you comfort and just kind of what to expect if you are also going through this as well. The Delta virus has been getting pretty bad again, or COVID in general, so we gotta wear masks up here even though I tested negative, which is, you know, absolutely fine. I'll do anything I need to protect myself and, you know, the nurses and all that jazz. But I have a whole room to myself up here in L&D, so it's been nice. Ow. Right now they're just monitoring baby. I'm not contracting or anything right now, which is good. Just wanted to show you guys the pee bag. It got super full super fast, so I have to watch out for that, and I have to empty it in the toilet, and it's attached to my back somewhere.
Will she be giving milk?
Well, it depends on how she wants to feed the baby.
Yes.
So if she wants to breastfeed the baby, then she can go ahead and breastfeed. We totally support breastfeeding here. If she needs help, we will give her help.
Interesting.
Yes.
So we'll be looking at here for like a time frame for like being in the hospital when the baby's born. Actually, a couple days, like.
No, 24 hours.
Oh, wow.
And then you go home.
So Hank came by the hospital and brought me some ice cream and some flowers he arranged personally. What? More gloves?
Yeah, of course.
Oh my goodness. You want to show off your little flower arrangement?
Yeah, I like that shit. What?
Yes.
Yeah, I do too. I'm a fucking florist. You hear that nurse and what she said? She's like, yeah. She said something like, yeah, you did like an okay job or whatever. I'm like, yeah, fucking no shit. I fucking did. Like, she's like, yeah. She's like, I like the ingenuity with the water bottle. I'm like, yeah, I bet you fucking did like that shit. No shit. I'm like, don't fucking touch touch them. This shit fucking took me some time. People don't know how to prepare flowers these days. She can look. She can't fucking touch.
You got it. Ow, ow, ow. Got my little pee bag.
It goes right in your freaking kidney.
I can't. Like right there. No, don't trust your little twitchy fingers.
I have gloves. What could go wrong?
I'm monitoring baby boy this morning. 30 weeks and 5 days pregnant today. This is what the incision looks like. And then I have to strap the pee bag to my leg. Almost 31 weeks pregnant now, which is crazy. This kid's so big. It's 2 in the morning. I just had another round of preterm labor. I'm going home, and they stopped the contractions with terbutaline, so headed home, but I'm really tired of being in the hospital, that's for sure.